Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the games. We have the fam in full effect. They're here to watch Inside Star Citizen with you. This is called, it's a little show called the ISCR, which, what does that stand for? Well, there's a lot of things we can make that stand for. Let's play a game and put it down in the comments below. ISCR, what does it stand for? Put it down there. I want to see it. Anyhow, it stands for Inside Star Citizen Review, which is the show that we do with the fam. And we always have a good time here. We've been getting a lot more people here lately. I like it. And don't forget about the hashtag Vag movement. It's a movement. If you're questioning what it is, ask people. They'll know. It's spreading. Vag is spreading. All right. Enough disgustingness. Let us watch something I'm really looking forward to. They're starting these teasers. Jared's doing these teasers. I like it. It's a good idea. It's hashtag professional. It gets you excited for the show. I like what they're doing to put a little bit more effort in, even before CitizenCon, which is right around the corner. We're all excited. I believe this is the last Inside Star Citizen before CitizenCon. I am hyped. I don't know. Are you guys hyped for CitizenCon? I am. I cannot wait to watch this with you. Hopefully, if everything goes well, I have notified the family, my real life family, that they are not family for that day, and that you have officially become my family, my real life family that day. That day, universes, realities, they turn 180. So anyhow, I'm looking forward to that. Let us watch the Prowler. There's going to be a Prowler in this, guys. Tavern. Yeah. Info.
The Tavaran. While Star Citizen's lore is replete with information, not much is known about the visual language that characterizes them. How does their culture influence their craft?
What can
we learn about their civilization from the way they build their spaceships? That's where the currently in progress Prowler armored personnel carrier comes into play, where, much like the Bounty Defender before it, it aims to...
Can I say something? You know what I'd really love to see? I'd love to see some shorts including aliens. Like, I'd love them to start including, like, you know, lore's really important to me. I love stories, man. And, you know, as important as the ships are for the ship sales, I'd like to see some Tavaran shorts, man. You know, like a little 2-minute Tavaran kind of thing in conjunction with the Prowler. It's just something different. I know Asperia's, you know, a human company that kind of replicates alien ships. I get it. But I'd also like to see like some, like, just a little bit of visual candy. And some people go, oh, don't do that because that's going to delay the process. They got a lot of artists over there, man. They got a lot of artists over there. Get them working. Get them working.
To define the aesthetic of our now assimilated antecedent alien avian adversaries.
Oh, he did it in one tank. Congratulations,
Jared.
Jared.
We're taking a look at the Prowler's white box. So you'll notice that we have the landing gear here split out.
I'll turn it up a little bit.
Landing gear. We've got a section here for the pilots and co-pilot, which sits right below him. And then we've got chunks of the interior boxed out and separated out to the side. So this is essentially a block out for us to plan the work that we have to do. This gives us an idea of where the major problem parts are for us to focus on as we actually develop the vehicle into gray box and then further down the final. I can show you where I'm at with the interior. So on the interior, we've got the cockpit, we've got the co-pilot cockpit. We've also got what we're kind of calling the component room. And so we'll have pretty easy access for players to be able to just walk up, press a button.
I'm feeling very avian, like an aviary, like a bird up in this.
And just to kind of give you a...
Man, it's like tall, skinny, and stretched. Just kind of imagine how I imagined it would be. Don't the Tavaran look like kind of bird creatures? You know what I'm saying? It feels like that. It feels like, yeah, it feels like I'm kind of crawling around in a nesty little vibe going on right there, man. I'm digging it. That's alien. These guys are on point. When it comes to the alien design, dudes, I don't know what it is, man. The alien designs are off the fucking chart. Listen, it might not be your cup of tea visually, Black Dream Hunk, but as far as it keeping like an alien kind of vibe, I'm digging the fact that they're keeping these ships I'm digging the fact that they're keeping the alien vibes, man. I'm digging it.
A sense of how this looks in relation to the pilot enter exit. You've got
What's
this
up,
nice
Donnie?
big hatch that pops open, creating a seal, and then you've got the pilot seat which turns around. Something that's
It
kind of
feels
interesting about
good.
the
It
ship,
feels
which we're attempting
alien.
to do is we really kind of want to give the cockpits a very different feel, especially for the alien spaceship. So we want all of the ship movements to be controlled by a single input. This system
Oh
here can
man,
essentially move.
that's a really cool design feature right there, man. I want. Ooh, damn, that's pretty cool when you think about it, man. Who thought of that? Who thought of that? Who thought of that, man?
In every single direction and rotation. So when it's all set up, the player will
Alien.
be able to sort of
Alien. That's what I'm talking about. Alien to the extreme. Digging it.
rotate the joystick to the right or to the left, and the entire stack will rotate. So you'll actually see a cascading set of animations all the
Right,
way to
Donnie?
the front of the dashboard,
Shit.
giving you a bit of an offset. So it'll be.
I think
really
they knocked
freaky
this
and
one out of
totally
the
different
park
than
on the
any other
Prowler,
content we have.
dude.
So I think that's going to be.
I'm
really
digging the
exciting.
alien vibe.
This is the first time
Oh.
we've
You can feel it, man. You can feel it coming right off of that screen. Check out that entryway. Check out all those little, man. We thought our, look at all these struts in here, but we thought the RSI was bad, dude. Look at this. Look at all these struts. I'm loving this, man. I'm digging this. I'm digging the feels. I'm feeling it through the
kind of
screen.
shown what the Tevran interior style is. So you might be wondering what's going on here, but they're
I'm
inspired
so
by
digging the
birds as a
look, man.
species. We're
On the
gonna have-
outside and the inside, completely reflecting the race properly, man. Could you imagine, like in the lore when we went up against the Tavern, man? Like that must have been some crazy stuff, man. I'd love to see a little cinematic. Like a little cinematic would be nice with the Tavern War. You know, the humans and the Tavern, and to see some of this stuff, like it would be nice. Oh man,
have shapes inside of
I'm
spans,
feeling this
the
stuff.
higher up they go. So you'll notice you
Strutception
have
says
this kind of
fire.
like upside down triangular shape. And you'll also notice that a lot of the big supports here, as they travel upward, branch out more and more, right? Sort of giving
Yep.
you that feel of
Like a nest,
both
like a tree.
trees and
Yeah.
also when you look up and when you're
Yeah.
inside of that space, the north.
Who in the hell did this design? They should get an award for this, man. This is really well thought out. This is very, very well thought out. I have not given a lot of praise during my time here at the ISCR, the Inside Star Citizen Review. I mean, I've had my moments where I've been very positive, but I think my positivity went right off the charts right here with this design. Whoever designed this ship, man, give them a raise. This is what I'm talking about. The person the people that were involved in this, give these people a raise.
noise that surrounds you is supposed to kind of feel a bit like a nest. So you've got this crazy mechanism in here, similar to the cockpit section, which kind of swallows up the ladder as it comes in. Everything kind of folds up neatly.
Oh my
closes
God,
up,
I'm wishing I
gives you
got
a
the
nice little
Prowler
seal.
right now.
And then you can have 4 guys
It's
ready
just
for battle here.
so natural.
What do we
man.
have left to do?
Awesome.
So if I look at the ship here, let me turn off the lights.
Very bird,
and I'm
very,
gonna
very jungle, very
reveal
trees,
some of
very
the sections. So this is
nest-like.
the rest of the interior. In terms of the interior geometry, that still has to be built. So that includes mounting all of these jump seats to the ceiling, building out and designing the interior, making sure that the rear hatch is working properly and seals properly with the exterior. And then we've got all 8 of these sort of jump doors that also have to be set up properly and sealed with the exterior. Then once we marry that with the actual exterior work, which you can see here on this hatch, then we'll have all of the geometry finished and ready to go. Beyond that, what we'll have to do is create an entire material set, which is unique to the Tevran, and then we'll have to go through our final pass, which is a long process of adding palms and decals and materials.
Oh,
and textures
yeah,
and
I wonder
everything to
too,
make it
I wonder
beautiful as
too.
possible, as well as actually getting the lighting done in engine. Right now, this is sort of my
Yeah, the
mild
ladder.
preview of the
Check
kind
that
of lighting
ladder
I
out.
do. This is just like a lighting block out. So quite a bit more work that still has to get done on this thing before it is ready for flight, but I think it's looking pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Whether it's building ships, designing games,
How many of you dug the design on that? How many of you dug the Prowler, man? I'm telling you what, that thing hit me with all types of goodness. I have to say, man. Not ready for 3.8 exactly, but it's looking like it's nearly done. So that is kind of a bummer because I want to see it as soon as possible. But it seems like they've got a lot on the platter in terms of CitizenCon coming up here. RSW, a really cool member in our community, sent me some really nice info end of October about Planetary Tech V4. And I was going to do a video on it, and Super Mac Brothers got to it before I could even cover it. But like, I'm really looking forward to see Microtech coming up and looking at the planetary, looking at weather. I'm sure we're going to see the cloud tech like really come in real strong for CitizenCon. It's going to be real fun for me to watch with you guys. I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully we even get not only weather effects, but we also get really nice graphics, like if it's raining and the rain hits off the cockpit window and you start seeing the little beads and the droplets. But we'll see what they have to offer us at CitizenCon. But as far as I'm concerned, the Prowler being moved a little bit further out, it's understandable. It's understandable to me because of everything going on. Now, after CitizenCon, I'm not going to give them any rain checks. You know, like after CitizenCon, I'm going to be back on them and be like, come on, guys, come on. I think everything up to this point, man, these guys are working hard right now, trying to get us a good CitizenCon. I hope the presentation at CitizenCon really gives us what we're looking for. I really do. I hope it blows my brain out of the top of my head. I really do.
Systems, programming features, or more. The tools we use to build Star Citizen are an essential part of any game's development. That's why this week we're excited to shine a light on those folks who build the tools for our developers here, who then turn around and use those tools to build the features for Star Citizens out there. Let's take a look.
As a games developer at Cloud Imperium, we use a very large number of tools. Some of those are developed by engineers within each individual team. So we develop primarily two sides. One is we look after the engine, the editor, which is sort of all of the in-engine tool side of things. And that helps the designers and bring together all the great content and create all the fantastic locations we see around the universe. We then also have what we call general tools, which are more for general business process and managing workflows. And they can be everything from automated testing through to grabbing builds, reports.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, #Badge, for following us. Welcome to the family. We've been wondering where you've been at. I love it.
Specific examples.
Little inside joke with the games community here.
Been seen all around the verse is copy build, which is
well played.
Pretty much every developer.
Well played, #.
Pull builds from the build system that is housed in Austin. So another tool we've also seen on around the verse is DataForge, which is quite difficult to explain. Within the game, almost everything you see has lots of configuration data. So one of the great benefits of DataForge, it allows us to have master records and then variant records. And this means we save a lot of time updating records and configuring these items that appear in the game. So one of the tools we've been recently developing over the last quarter. And
all right. Thank you for that subscription, DY. We appreciate it, man. Keeps the channel going. That cash keeps the channel going, keeps the life, the momentum, the blood, man. Thank you.
For general use this quarter is a new tool called StarWorks. And StarWorks is there to help us manage all the text that's in the game. We did have another third-party solution we were using, but it was web-based, and that caused a lot of trouble in terms of getting it into the build, managing to get use Perforce, which is our source control management system, to do versioning. So because it's a desktop application, not only can we provide a much richer UI, which makes it a lot easier for the users to actually get the content in, search the content, and organize it all, it also means that in the future we'll be able to link it into the editor so we can make changes to the text and see it directly in-game, either in the editor or in the client, as that text is being entered, which obviously will have quite an impact in terms of layout and styling of the text that you will see. So one of the other things that the tools team handle and look after is automated testing. So we probably produce something like 20 builds every day, and each one of those goes through a suite of tests to ensure that we get build stability and we don't see issues reoccur. This has been particularly important with the Vulkan work we're doing at the moment, because obviously that's creating quite a large change across the graphics subsystems. And we want to make sure that what we deliver through Vulkan is absolutely the same as we've done with our current solutions. One of the major people who put a lot of work into it is Matt Jones, our graphics embedded QA.
As you can imagine, we hit quite a few problems trying to test the game, especially with the magnitude of a title like ours. We've got a massive universe. We can't run around, to each corner of the universe. It's just impossible. So what we do is we've got a tool called the Graphics Viewer tool, and what it does is it runs two images side by side and creates a heat map, which we can then detect differences between the two images, and it's done by pixel differences. So as you can see, we've got the first map, second one, third one. We can automatically see the differences between those images. Now how we get these is we actually run a sequence within the likes of a test level or within the mega map itself. So if I just show you a quick preview of the level, you can see we've got a lot of tests around different hallways, different areas to look at. It really brings into perspective just how much different tech we've got, and to be able to obviously break down each portion of the tech rather than having to look at it within the mega map. It'd be easier to just have everything broken down significantly and then figure out where the issues actually lie. So from there, we'll run a capture through a CVAR. As you can see, it goes pretty swiftly. So we can get about 180 tests done in about 2 or 3 minutes, which is obviously going to save a lot.
What they're talking about, guys, in layman's terms, is like the loading of object containers. So basically what they're saying is this is just as important as what you're talking. When you guys see the SSOCS, you see the SSOCS all day long. Everybody talks about SSOCS being the savior for the entire game. What they're talking about here is the ability to load in objects quickly, and this is part of the problem that we're getting when you're seeing a lot of and this isn't exactly it, but just to give you guys an idea what the hell these guys are talking about, loading in of objects. So for instance, you guys walk around, you see a lot of the NPC characters cut in half, where the floor's cutting them in half and they're coming out of the floor like this, these types of things, so that they're loading in properly and they're loading in faster. So basically they're talking about that. They're also talking about, I believe the coding involved in order to get these objects in and out. And I might do a video on this to kind of break it down easier for people that are kind of whoa, nerd speak. So I might do a video for this and have it ready for you guys this weekend. Not quite sure. We had a wonderful talk the other day where it was just a fun little talk. Sometimes this stuff gets pretty heavy for the casual Star Citizen member, so you're watching this sometimes and your eyes start to go here's the thing about Inside Star Citizen that I feel like they need to start doing is they need to make it a little bit more relatable, and they need to make it a little bit more entertaining when they get into very, very chunky information. When they're getting into these really heavy information sections. And this is why I think it's great that there's a lot of content providers out there in terms of the YouTube content creators that can take this, disseminate it, and give it to you. I might do something on this. I'm not quite sure. It's very specific, the data that they're talking about. But just so you guys know, it sounds to me like it's the ability in which you can load objects into the game quickly. And let's continue. Let's continue to listen. And if you guys start to kind of glaze over and fall asleep, I understand, man. I'm letting it soak in. I'm letting it soak in the cranium here. Yeah, I think they're talking about Vulkan as well. I think that they're talking about the ability.
So once this is done, so if we go back, so we've got 2 different modes. In fact, so we've got a regression mode and comparison modes. Comparison mode is where this is most handy.
Yeah, the old way in which they did things and the new system they're working on. By the way, did you guys see the new CryEngine ray tracing
captures, then implement
video done by Digital Foundry? Really good.
And this is where we can obviously look at the different captures and see where the changes are going to actually really hit. So as we go through, we get the first image, and then we get the second image. We can see the slight differences already. And then the heat map will automatically display this. This works again, in a comparison mode where as each build is made incrementally, we can actually then look at the build changes that are happening every single build that we're expecting to be a clean build, and just make sure there's no issues basically happening. As you can imagine, you know, automation doesn't pick up everything. There is a bit of manual labor that obviously still has to be put in, but this still saves a lot of time. The way that the tool works, you know, it really helps to identify those problems as we go along, rather than relying on hours and hours.
That was interesting. Did you see that blurry part? Fire picked up on that.
We can do it within the space of a few minutes.
So that's a brief look at what the tools team has been up to recently and some of the future plans. But we're very excited to maybe hopefully show you a lot more about what we do in the future.
So what did we learn this week? We learned that a ship is more than just a ship when it's the touch.
Whoo! And you know, I'm sure I'm gonna get some comments down below in the video that people are gonna be like, that's not what it is, DG, it's this. And there's gonna be very long explanations. And thank you everybody for commenting down below and telling me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But that's what I picked up, at least on first kind of screening. It sounds to me like it's the kind of like, as builds progress, the tool that they have to make sure that everything that has been put into a particular portion of the game loads in the same manner, and any problems they have as far as things not loading in the order that has been programmed, that they're sorting out through this tool. And it sounds like it's kind of like an object container loading device, at least to me from the surface, from what I am getting. But who knows? At this point, until I actually do a little bit more digging and a little bit more research, I'll look into it. If I think it's important enough, and I think it actually sounds as if it's something that's going to be just as important as SSOCS, the ability to actually load things faster so that you're not having problems playing the game. We'll see. We'll see. A preview tool, says Dark. Okay.
Touchstone for an entire species' visual development. That the tools that make video games possible are as essential a part of Star Citizen's development as anything else. And that CitizenCon is 1 week away, and as such, this will be the last ISC.
So Brixie's saying, in summary, what he is doing is checking using Vulkan still produces the same graphics output, is what Brixie has said. Thank you, Brixie. It's a comparison tool between different graphic APs like DirectX and Vulkan. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that.
Now and then, but don't worry, you can tune
in
on
free up
November
CPU
23rd
time
about new
on the main core.
The pre-show
Thank you.
An entire day's worth of Star Citizen development updates. So for Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee, and I'll see you at CitizenCon.
Man, that Prowler though. All in all, I was impressed with the Prowler. I have to say. Like, I was really impressed with the Prowler. Super, super, super duper impressed with the Prowler. I can't tell you. Like, that thing hit me in the face with awesomeness. I like the alien designs. I really like the alien designs. Also, anything that is in regards to the development, which speeds up the game and makes the game better to play, should be on the top of the list. The priority list should be always focused on what is going to make the experience the best experience for us. And you know, I got a video out there about Dual Universe, and it was interesting. They did a stress test on their server of 30,000 simulated players, and it was pretty impressive. It was pretty impressive to see that, and I'm hoping that we get something along the lines of that. Like, some people are saying, DG, do you really want 30,000 people in at the same time? Yeah, I do. I don't want there to be any limits. Call me a dreamer. Like, a lot of people were very upset with me. I got a lot of comments in the video that I had done about that, and they thought I was comparing it and all this, you know, and I was laughing to myself. I'm like, I'm not really comparing. I'm just saying, hey, look at this. Like, hey, would you look at that? And, you know, people were like, do you really want that many people? I mean, if it's going to be a limitless experience and there's going to be a lot of systems eventually coming online, then yes, I want 30,000 plus people. I want that amount of people. Fill it up. You want an example of some people that did it wrong? Frontier development with Elite Dangerous. Look at the billions of systems in that game, and you go from system to system to system to system to system to system, and you can't find anybody. That's why they developed community goals. That's why they developed community goals in that game, to bring people to a central point. Yeah, I like when I'm able to look around and I say, hey, look, there's somebody else playing the game. Hey, look, there's somebody else playing the game. Elite Dangerous, warp, 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 warp. 50 jumps later, you might have seen one person. You might, if you're lucky. You could go 100 jumps and not see a real person play that game. And it's ridiculous. I want to see hundreds of people in every train. I want to see hundreds of people walking around Ark. I want to see thousands of people on a planet that's populated. Yes, I do. You know, and for people to come into a video and go like, do you really want to see that, DG? Fuck yes, I do. Yes, I do. Why wouldn't I? It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of, where people are already putting the limitations to a game that frankly shouldn't have much limitations. I mean, like, that's the selling point of Star Citizen. There will be no limit.